Hi, welcome back. We already discussed about the basic part of Spring Boot application. So in this video, I'm going to talk about the entities. What is entity? Let's take the practicals, right? Okay. So in our core Java, if you want to store the record, it's called as we have created one database, and inside the database we have to create the tables. Okay, if it is employee, we have to create the table based on the employee, right? We have to create the corresponding table. If it is a customer, we have to create the corresponding table as customer table, right? Customer table, we have to create the corresponding columns. Okay, we have to create the corresponding columns. Okay, employee ID, employee name, employee address, salary, uh, contact number, active state. These are the corresponding column we have to create, right? So the same thing in our Spring Boot MVC application, we have to create as an entity. Okay, here we have to create as entity, right? Okay, the table we have to create in Spring Boot application, it's called as entity, right? Entity as a class, right? You have already know about the in your object oriented class. It's first you have to create the class as employee. Inside the employee class as a template. We already you have studied in your core Java. Class as an empty template. Okay. Inside the class we have a method and properties, right? Method and properties. Okay. Property, we have to create the property mean these are the columns as a property. Methods, we have to create the method, get and set method, and we have to create the get and set method and constructor. All the things we have to create inside the class, right? This is how we have to create the table. So let's, without wasting the time, let's go to and create it. So let's go to your main SRC main. Here we have created the package com Spring Boot first tab. Here right click, new. Here I'm going to create the new package as entity. What's the package I'm going to create? Entity. Entity package. Press enter key. Now you can see your entity package has been created. Inside the package, I'm going to create a class as employee class. What's the class? Employee class. So here create as employee class. Right. Now your employee class has been created successfully. This is empty class. Now in Spring Boot, in our object-oriented programming, you already see this class as a blank template. Okay. In Spring Boot application, I already explained, all are called as annotation. Here you have to type the specific annotation over here. In everything as a annotation, specific annotation. Okay, here you have to type the specific annotation as an entity. It's an entity. Right, it's an entity. If you show that, it show the error. This is not error. It asks to import your properties. What are the properties you are going to add it? Right. Now let's take and add the properties. Right. So I'm going to add it as let's type the class name. I just copy these two things. I have to paste it over here. This no need. I just copy and paste it over here. This table I'm going to name it as employee. You have to write the table annotation. If you have created a table, respective annotation here. Here we have to write a table name. What's the name you have to give? Employee. It's a table I'm going to create. Right? So here it asks import the namespace. So here click on this one. Press Alt plus enter on your keyboard. Alt plus enter on your keyboard. Right? Here it says here Alt plus enter in your keyboard. This class will be added. Okay, sorry, select here Alt plus enter key, Alt plus Alt on the key, Alt plus enter key on your keyboard. If you import the class, if you import it, the package will be imported. Right, it's working perfect. Now what I'm going to do here, I have to add the properties. Okay, so let's add the properties. Without wasting the time, I just copy and all the things. I will be explain it. It's no problem, right? So explain it, right? Inside the class, I add it, right? No problem, right? It's added, right? So here, first one should be the ID. We have an ID. Okay, this is we have to write employee ID. We have to create a column. We have to show you the employee ID. Okay, employee ID column, these are the columns. Okay, if I create this one, this is all the important, it asks import the statement, right? All plus enter, this one also all plus enter, this also all plus enter. This all the class will be added, right? Here you can see here, first column, take the look at this one. What's the column here? Employee ID. This employee ID as a primary key, and I need a auto increment, and we have to specify the length. All things we have. If you have ID, if you have put the annotation here, is a primary key column. It's a column which name is ID. Its length we have to give as 45. It will be the auto generated column. So we have to give the value generated value. It will be the auto generated, right? So customer ID. This is how we have column we have designed. After that, so employee name. Second column will be the employee name. How I define here is length I have given 100, nullable false. Nullable false. And we have to we need to write this one. Okay, we can't. It's a blank. Okay, it's a nullable false. Okay, here customer name, right? After that, customer address is 130. This is only the length and column name only I will do it. The customer name. This is this all the column will be, we have to create it in the database, right? This all the columns will be created in the database, right? So employee salary. These are the customer address or string. It's a double. Employee salary, when you are in any program, if is there any column is there in the salary, don't put int. Okay, you have to put instead of int, you have to make it as double, because salary is a, here the double is a appropriate database, appropriate data type, right? Now here you have to type enter, define this one, right? Here array annotation, right? So here you can see here contact number. You can see here why I put instead of int you have the array list. Why? Because if you have a contact number, if one employee have more than one contact numbers, okay, they use their personal purpose or company purpose. It has the person has 2 or 3 phone numbers. So we have to create the array list. So the array list as a JSON format you have to create. So you type as JSON. So in this phone number you have to come like this, the JSON format, right? Okay, like this. If you have a 3 numbers, you have to type like this, right? So that we have to create the phone number as array list. So array list. After that, NIC number. So 12, it's unique, because if you have a NIC number, okay, if it is NIC number, it will be unique. Okay, if it will be unique. If unique mean if you live in it, if you have a house, you live in the place, your house address is the unique address. Okay, it can't become same address in another place. Okay, so that's a unique, right? The same thing as the ID also the unique. The person who you are identify the unique address is unique, right? Unique true. After the active state is a true. The active state means it is true or false. Okay, why I put the active state here? When the employee left from your company, we are not going to delete the employee details. We just active state false it. Okay, active state false, right? Okay, why are you active state we are false? It's sometime in the future we have to know about his details, right? So we have to go and active one, and we show their details, right? So that we have to active state. This is a professional way to we have to create the tables, right? Right now here, if it is JS list, so JSON format, we have to put it. We have to add the following dependencies. You have to add the following dependency. Then that is must. So how to type this variable dependencies? To get the dependency as this dependency, you have to go to the Google and type this dependency. Here you have to type here as this one. You copy and paste it over here. Maven this one. This is the dependency you have to install for the JSON form, right? So you have to get this one. So go here. We let this is a dependency. You have to add it. So here we have to get the dependencies. Here you can see the, you can get the this one ID I type 5. It's a good. So here you can get it here 2.60. Let me get it. This is the dependency we have to edit. Copy it. Back to our application. Here you have form.xml. I already explained this one. Here I am going to add the dependencies, right? So you have to get the dependencies over here. If you add the dependency, don't forget it. You have to add this one. Then only the dependencies will be added. Okay, it will be loaded. Okay, this all the dependencies will be loaded and it will be added. Right? Okay, if you know about the Maven, I don't have to explain this one. All the Maven components are made as a dependencies type by this type. Okay, I hope you already know about the Maven. I don't have to explain the Maven. You have a knowledge about Maven. If you don't have a knowledge about Maven, you must study the Maven. Right? It's all the configuration. You need the configuration. Now let's back to my entity class. So to add the define this type. Now you can get this type this type, and this type. Okay, now here you have to import the class. Import the class. So already your dependencies there. If you are not at the dependency, this class is not accessible. This is how you have to add it. Okay, this is what is the purpose you added this one. If you add it, you can use as a JSON format. Right? We have to add. Now this is how we have to add the dependency. If you have more than one data we have stored. If you have a two names, you have to edit that this type array list. Okay, that's how you have to add the data. If you have a two addresses, you can edit. Okay, this you can do it like this. Now what I'm going to do here is we have to create the constructor. So let's create the constructor. So what I have to create the constructor over here, right click. So right click. So here we have to generate. Here you can first you have to create the constructor. Select here one, hold on shift key down and all the properties I need. Click OK. This is a parameter constructor. This all the parameter will be there here. It's a parameter constructor. We have to create two different constructors. One is a parameter constructor and it's a non-parameter constructor we have to create. So let's select this one. Right click, generate constructor, select none. This is the empty constructor you have created, right? Okay, right. You have to create the constructor based on the data. If you don't need the customer ID, you have to get rid of this customer ID and rest of the parameter will be keep rest of the parameters, right? After that we have to generate the get and set method. How to set the get and set method? Right, select here, right click, generate, select as get and set method, select all the properties, first one, and select first one, hold on the shift key down and select the last and click OK. Here all the get and set method will be generated. At the last, what I'm going to do is select this one, right click. I have to import the string values. Go here, this to string. Okay, click OK. Right, that's it. This all the necessary stuff you must do it. Okay, thank you for watching.